Take me back to the beginning, when the seeds of what would become Misled started to germinate. What was the creative spark?
At that time, I just lockdown had started, COVID and all that stuff, and I just moved off my brother's sofa. I was living there for like 9 years, and I just moved to a little flat in Hackney, and I guess even that move was like signifying like, all right, like lumps enough, it's time to like grow up, get your own, have a bit more responsibility. So I was on my own and I had a lot of time to think, and I realised that was where I was in life. So I just wanted to like kind of close like an old chapter that I think myself and my mates have been like dancing in for time. The nostalgia, the roots of where we come from, the way how we like celebrate things that are not really celebratory, but that's like the only things that we had to do to celebrate because it was times when we was together. You know, and that's what we're all about on the Isle of Dogs, is like togetherness. So it was like kind of like dancing and celebrating that those times and that teenagehood, childhood that we had, but like at the end of the journey and not like in the middle of how we always used to exalt it. It's like tying it up, putting a bow on it and moving on.
The opening track, Cool Kid, sets the tone for the project. It bridges your grime origins with this rustic indie sensibility.
Love that, yeah.
Why was that the curtain raiser of the EP, the track that commenced the experience?
It's the first one that I made with Subculture, Big Him Up. It was the first track that I made that I really... Actually, another track was, but I didn't even know that was going to go on there too. But it was like, when I realised, right, I'm going to make a new project, it was like, that was like the first tune that I made in a while. I thought, okay, that's doing something, that means something, that's clicking, that's strong, you know, I can deliver that out of a long time, out of hiatus, I'm not saying much. And it just felt like it was the right time for that track, and sonically, because, you know, old school and break beats and all that's kind of coming back, and I just felt, yeah, and that's what we didn't even, you know, we didn't even mean to make that really, but that's what came, so I thought, yeah, that's the start, man.
You mentioned the nostalgia, and there is a fixation on youth on this project, with tracks like Stay Alive, Cop Car, and of course Young Again. It feels like a coming of age project. Did you set out for Misled to be a cautionary tale for the next gen coming up? Because I feel a lot of young listeners, impressionable listeners, will seek solace from a project like this.
I'm always trying to like communicate with the youth, man, because I know how much of a misleading time that can be. So I'm always like trying to like say something that means something, you know. I don't want to waste my time. I'm not in this to make music to dance in glory, you know. I'm in it to like change things, and even like a bit of catharsis to help me. But yeah, like definitely want to say something that's worthwhile to young people, because I don't just want to be part of the masses that are just highlighting egotism and stuff. And I kind of understand it I do understand it, and I do understand that people like love to talk about how good they're feeling and how well they're doing now, just so they finally feel that they're at a level with everybody else, especially like, you know, black kids and working class kids, you know, you put on an expensive pair of shoes, you put on some jewelry, and you think, oh, cool, finally that they'll look at me differently. They'll think, oh, I'm not a tramp, or I'm not this and that. Like I'm in the shop, I'm going to get some service. They're going to look at me. Do you know what I mean? So I do get it, you know, but I feel like that's not how I want to spread my message. So I always, you know, it's not a secret. I love a drink, I love a good time, but I don't just want to be drilling that in people's head all the time. I also want to talk about the mindfulness and the mental situations, and how, you know, you will feel in the end if you just keep those kind of things up. So yeah, always trying to talk to the youth, man. It's important.
This project sums up the East London experience. It's very much about your roots, and we come across like loads of gritty characters, friends, family, but also the ones that wield power, so like the establishment.
Yeah.
Is Misled completely autobiographical?
Yeah.
Do you weave in and out of fiction?
No. Not at all. No. I don't really weave in and out of fiction, anything. Even if I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about someone real close that's been through something that affected me, because I'm very like empathetic. How do you say that one? Empathetical?
Yeah,
empathetic, that's the one. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, I'm very empathetic, so I'm feeling shit all the time. So like, yeah, none of it is false. I don't think I've wrote on a full song ever. I'm not, no. There's bare beauties in life, like for you to like make shit up. Like, why don't you just look up, just open your eyes, take your earphones out for 1 second and just look and listen.
Going back to Cool Kid, for the visual, I presume we're looking back at your teenage self.
Yeah.
Talk me through what you wanted to portray with the visual component.
I have to big up Will again for that. He's been working with me for time and he knows me like very well, so he knows like how I like to portray myself. But I'm just portraying the mission to be cool is to like counteract how you probably feel elsewhere, and that might be at home where you feel extremely sad, and then you go outside to seek, relevance. So, and then all that, and that might be because you're a bit poor. That might be because you're not getting that much attention at home because mum's working 2 jobs and dad's in jail and shit. So you go out, and look for your place, and just that was in your blood, to just keep on rising, no matter if it's deemed as negative, whatever. One has to be cool at all times. So at that time, that was the way to be cool, or that was the way to even feed yourself. But somehow it was unfortunately or fortunately deemed as cool. So yeah, we're just telling the story, man. There's ups and downs. You make your money, but then there's large crashes. You get robbed. You get beat up. You go to jail. You go this. You end up doing things you have to enforce. Something you don't even want to enforce. I realised that's one of the things I realised as I'm older. I'm a lot more softer than I thought I was. Like I don't want to enforce. I don't want to be horrible to anyone. I don't want to. Like, a lot of that I realised that a lot of it was like ego. A lot of it was like alcohol and shit. Like, I don't even want to do that. That's why I'm so happy. Like I train and fight, because it allows me to exit that, but always be in control. So yeah, man.
There are some really lovely production flourishes on this EP. I want to emphasize the vocal production. On the track Irrelevant Elephant, the harmonies sound like a moody lament. It's very moody, it's very atmospheric. When it comes to the vocals, are you a one take kind of guy, or do you like to embellish and add those harmonies?
You know what it is? See, like when you create certain tunes as well, yeah. There's a mood when you create the tune sometimes, and it's like, especially like say it's like the first take, not the first take, but the main vocal take. You might do it, and then you wake up tomorrow and think, oh, there's certain bits in there, that thingy, but you can't even get that mood back, like no matter what you try and do. Do you know what I mean? So if you can't, you might just snip and replace certain words here and there. But then when it comes, and even with the harmonies, man, for me, like I used to be in a choir, so like that's just what we used to do anyway. And I love harmonies, man. It just takes you to another place. So I'm good at harmonies. I know I am. So like again, it's like, yeah, first take, whatever goes in, whatever, it's a feeling. And then then we try and match that with another layer, and then with harmonies, you're not so like hold on to. You can go in the next day and add, but like it's just got to be right. But with the harmonies, it take a bit of time. But like when it comes to like main takes, usually like it's like a feeling.
It's instinctive.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
The project showcases the depth of UK producers. You've got Karma Kid, Subculture. I love this one, Ali Blah Blah.
Yeah, it's big up Ali. That's my guy. Yeah.
Saying it.
I mean, he made my first 2 projects. Yeah,
it's a homegrown affair. So talk me through the synergy you had with these producers who bring colour and vibrancy to your artistry.
So Subculture he's made himself known for a little while that he liked the tunes, and he's got like variety in what he can do. So yeah, we've got a few tracks, but we were just trying to see which one. And Cool Kids was the one that went smash. Yeah, that's the one. So like he can do like loads and loads of stuff, and he's very quite hip hop influence and drum influence. So like that was just nice. That just came together quite naturally. Karma Kid was like I was lucky really because my manager at the time was like we should experiment with new producers, and I was always like no, I always want to work with Ali because that's just what I know we made, you know what I mean?
Familiar with.
Yeah, but then he went to Ukraine because his wife was pregnant, and they bore their child there, and they could get like help and whatever. And he was setting up business out there. So then I was like, I kind of didn't really have anyone to like make music with. I try and produce our own, but I'm way too ADHD. It's just not happening. So like, yeah, I was coming up from a session in Bristol. Actually, I'd meet some geezer called Igor, a top geezer, and I got a phone call from Ash, and he was like, someone wants to work with you. This is a discography. Discovery. That
Discovery.
one. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, discography. They call it on Spotify. Anyway, some tunes that he's done. That's one. Cool, that lisp. Anyway, and I listened to his tunes. I thought, cool, he's got rewriting what he can do. He's quite cool. So we met because he wanted to work, and we met, and vodka was involved. I think we smashed like 2 bottles of vodka the first time we met each other, just to get that. He's northern, so he knows what it's about. And we made bloody Cop Car and Stay Alive in the first 2 sessions. And I thought,
so 2 big tracks.
2 big tracks, and I was just like, yeah, this is the one for me. And so now we've just been working forever. We're working on and on and on. And yeah, he gets it, man. He gets it. There's got to be fluidity, and he's not too, you've got to be able to even like, that's not working, chuck that. Good. And Ali is just speaks for herself. I've known Ali since I was like 12, 13, like when we used to MC, used to engineer back in the day for us. He had success in his own bands before. When I realised I wanted to play guitar, he's the first geezer I went to. Then he set up a studio after that, and then I'm a bit nuts. He's a bit nuts. Get in the studio, and we just free, like super free. Like, and I said he made my first 2 projects, and yeah, man, it's at home when I'm with Ali anyway. So it's nothing. We're keeping on. We're working all the time anyway. So yeah.
The EP closes with the track "Borrow Time."
Mm-hmm.
That's the oral equivalent of like sunlight coming through the window.
Yes.
There's acknowledgement of like the fragility of life, but there's forward momentum in this track. As the closing moment of the EP, what did you want to leave in the listener's imagination?
You just said it, sunshine.
Just hope.
Sunshine, hope, noise, interaction. Yeah, that's that, the etherealness of the vocal, like just hope, like something to reach for, as it's like the song is like drifting out, just hope, sun, light. Yeah, man. It's dark. It was dark. Obviously, COVID was happening and all that. You know what I mean? It was like people weren't leaving their house and people was dying and whatnot. But for me, it's bigger than that, man. It was just like I suffer a little bit in my nut. I feel like I do. As I said, I self-medicate and sort myself out. I feel. And done a bit of counselling and so I know how it feels to be lost in yourself, when bad things have happened, man, and you can't escape. But I'm just telling the people that, you can do it, Just find that focus, man. And even if that focus is not indefinite all the time, and you have weeks off, like I do, going mad, drinking, crying, everything. But just bring yourself back and reach for that sun, reach for the stars again, man. Like that's it, man. Stars are there to be reached, like not to just be like dreamt about, man. Go and grab them. Yeah.
Misled on the most part feels like a reckoning with your past. Now as you enter the next phase of your career, the next era, are you at peace with your younger self? Does the reckoning and reconciling ever stop? Where are you right now?
More at peace. I thought there's a little bit more, there's definitely some more digging to do, some more talking to do, some more going crazy to do, which is definitely just part of it, do you know what I mean? But yeah, just more at peace, definitely more at peace. Yeah.